Good morning, good morning, good morning. You're tuning in to the Urban Conservative. I'm Chaz Neal, based in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're being brought to you today by Leon Block Independent Media. And I have a co-host with me, Jontel Tola.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Whether you're waking up or you're going to bed, hope you are blessed.
Yes, yes, yes. And over here at Leon Block Independent Media, we are all about transparency, truth, and accountability. The Urban Conservative is all about news on the streets, gun violence, crime, politics, and how we solve our community's most hardest issues. How can we change our communities for the better? Let's get back to family, community, and building foundational roots. Let's make sure nobody gets left behind. Set up and help. So this morning we are going to talk about Minneapolis, one of Minneapolis's, and honestly, just not even Minneapolis, one of our most structured issues, homelessness. And for the last week, we've had issues, serious issues with evictions. Uh, and some communities members like to call it disbanding. I like to call it what it is, evicting, because disbanding is um, breaking something up. This is not breaking something up. This is evicting people, arresting people, brutalizing them. And we're going to play some video, not this one. I want to give a big shout out to so yesterday, Minneapolis did clear 3 encampments, and and we'll get into this story too. But a nonprofit that helped incarcerated individuals was also kicked out, and there was about 30 African American men. But I want to play a video from Aaron Johnson, who is a activist out of Minneapolis, and this video is there's two actually. This one right here is from last week, um, and this just shows the type of presence that Minneapolis brings. Go ahead, play the video, sir.
Shame, yo, shame.
Yes, it is, and just to show that just shows you uh, what type of presence that the city of Minneapolis, that our mayor, our Minneapolis police, our park police, our can't really say about Hennepin County. I know there was some state troopers because I went through a scene yesterday on 25, 205 Gerard, and seen the type of presence and the way that they had the community, the neighborhood shut down. It was like an 8 block radius of just seeing police cars everywhere. But yet, all the shootings that happened yesterday, it really trips me out of what we use our resources for. And if you play that, I think they have that video right there. And this is yesterday, and this is them um, throwing away people.
Right as it's getting cold at that.
Right, and that's what. So today, last night was actually the coldest night yet of since May, April,
Wow.
and I want people to realize this too, of that out of everything that happened yesterday with the evictions and with 30 men being evicted from their housing. Uh, you had 210 plus people. Um, there's another video that I want to play, and while we talk about this, it's ridiculous to me of the way that, because I want to really give it up to Communities Unite Against Police Brutality, um, and Michelle Gross for the way that they went in there last night. And I only want to play a section of the video.
Was it the protesters that went to city?
They up to the city hall.
Got you.
Yep, I just put another link in there. So, oh yeah, we could play this one. I don't mind Dean. He's not a bad dude. Or Danny, whatever his name is. And this is a shorter one.
So again, what's going on here?
So this is a group of activists and organizations. Right there speaking is Michelle Gross. She is the executive director of Communities United Against Police Brutality. You have AJ, who is an activist out of St. Paul. You have some other groups that are protectors, encampment responders, and basically just a lot of it is mutual aid work. So a lot of these people that are standing there are community members that actually do live in the community, and went to the planning commission to ask them to make MPD, the city, stop, because there actually is a lawsuit right now from the Minnesota ACLU, and that what the city of Minneapolis and the Minneapolis Police Department is doing is wrong, is illegal, and is not being done in the correct way at all. They're not giving these people resources, and let me take that back a little bit. They're not giving my community members resources. When you evict that many people, and actually my neighbors, I'm going to make it a little bit even more personal. My neighbors, and they have nowhere to go. The shelters, I think yesterday when all of this was going on, there was like 4 openings.
Wow.
Where are those people supposed to go? And what people don't even realize is this is all a political move.
Yep.
If people don't understand that, and that's the most sick part of it, is where are they going to go? They're only going to go further over north. It's to get the ugliness, because they consider it ugliness, out of downtown. This is what this is about. And I want to get into the building future Minnesota. And that is the story with that Listen Media USA covered. Let's see, where did I get that at? So Better Future Minnesota is having an issue with Hennepin County, so they're displacing 30 African American men on short notice. Also, their jobs are lost. Now, Better Futures Minnesota embraces a group of people living in chronic poverty with histories of persistent unemployment, untreated mental health, addiction, incarceration, and homelessness. Their circumstances are a public health problem that originates in the core hurts and the trauma experienced by these adults. Now, the part that I want to talk about this is because 2 things: the city of Minneapolis and Hennepin County both have and passed resolutions proclaiming racism a public health crisis. How does it that you evict 30 black men that were getting help from a great organization that was giving them jobs, housing, so that they wouldn't be on the streets, so that people wouldn't be calling them thugs that really wanted to change their life. And what other else option are they going to have now that if nobody picks up or puts a hand out, they have no other choice but to get back here on them streets? And is that what we want? Is that what these failed democratic policies are doing for our great city of Minneapolis?
Right.
You know, we need to really think about that. When we
So here's some tweets on here that's pretty much coming at different arguments of what you're saying is a real question. What are the officers doing while they're out of their cars? Is it connecting people to social services that they may need? That's public safety. For real. I do actually believe we are going to have police officers. That's the reality we're in, which is true.
Right.
If we want to get to a place where there's more social service oriented people helping, we've got to start somewhere because, you know, police officers aren't going away tomorrow. And do I believe they're slave catchers? Yes. But I'm also being realistic here, knowing the rest of society may not agree with my
right. And that's the thing of it is, like, this is my question to people that say abolish the police, right? Or even defund the police, because y'all are not out here trying to patrol these streets. So for y'all to sit there and say abolish something, I would hopefully, you know, you practice what you preach.
Well, yeah. See, I'm gonna have to send an episode to you that we did that breaks down the myths, debunks the myths, and gives you the cold hard facts about what people that actually do practice what they preach mean by defund the police and abolish the police, because there's solutions that they offer and what a transition would look like. You know what I mean? But I'm not. Course, the bulk of people, as you're pointing out, obviously to the viewers, is that there's a whole bulk of people that's just screaming abolish the police when they have no idea what they want to do about it. They just they're just mad and want to point the finger at people, and that's because politicians are not offering any solutions.
They're not. They throw money. All they do is throw money that and hopefully they expect that it's going to get rid of the problem.
Right.
No, and that's my problem with reparations. You know, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I do want to sit here and stay on key, but it's like even with reparations, we have to educate.
Yep.
First, we have to teach financial literacy. We have to show people how to be self-sufficient, because if we're just throwing money, just like we did with the
talk about it
COVID monies, right? Now we're 2 years into COVID. The numbers are maybe not as bad, but it's still around 80 to 70,000 cases a day of COVID. Now you have monkeypox.
It's not even that. The inflation and the gas.
But that's where I'm getting at is we had an abundance of money, and now they're saying that unemployment's at its lowest. Well, yeah, because people aren't getting rehired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So of course you're not going to have unemployment rate is going to be low for the simple fact of that if you don't have people applying for unemployment benefits, where are the numbers at? They're going to go down because people aren't applying. So
and they also inflate and deflate the numbers based off of like the gig economy. They don't count those jobs, but those are people working actual jobs. They just won't count it. So think about all the people that's working Uber and you know, DoorDash and all that stuff. They're not counted as actual workers.
Right. And that's what I don't understand with people, and so they just fall for anything.
Right. Yeah. I know you wanted to talk about another
Cedric Alexander.
Yo, perfect. Exactly.
I want to talk about Operation Endeavor. I want to talk about Operation Endeavor is basically what is up you're seeing on the screen right now. It is to show an effort to increase police visibility through downtown and across the city. If you didn't see them, you would complain about that, wouldn't you? Enough of the two-face talking from both sides of your mouth already. So this is a response to him kind of explaining what Operation Endeavor is. If people don't know who Cedric Jesus Christ Alexander is, he's the 300,000. Let me take that back because it's $350,000 miracle man that Jacob Frey, baby boy mayor, and some city council members brought in from Rochester, New York, and DeKalb County, Georgia. Now, my question has always been, what has he ever done to make his city better? And as you can see, as we're going to go through some of his responses to people through residents of Minneapolis, you're going to see that this dude is, I don't know what to call him. Because the way that he talks, this is not anything professional. So this is a tweet from a Minneapolis resident that says, I think it's safe to say that many of us recognize the red flags in Cedric's appointment by his unprecedentably substandard responses to questions regarding public safety, as well as his conflict of interest. I will not expect anything more from him than what he's showing us here. It shows an effort. I just read that already. So again, this is somebody that is our director of public safety and is being paid $350,000 a year to talk to people through social media like this. This is what we're paying. This is what we pay for. This is what $350,000 gets you. A disrespectful coward that and I think there is. Okay, so this, and I'm going to call this man a coward. This is a tweet from 2020, September. And so I did a little background. Rachel Barnhart is actually, and I think she still is a city council member of Ward 4 or 5 out in Rochester, New York. Cedric, they were going back and forth, and it really to me is his response. You want to attack my character when I was in Rochester. People are laughing at you, dummy, behind your back. And it made me really wonder, is this the type of man that people talk about integrity? This is what integrity looks like. To me, this is a coward that when he is asked questions, not about his character, because I went through this thread, and for me, she didn't say anything to me that was attacking him personally. It was attacking his job title, his job, what he is paid to do, which the city is paying him. Now, if people want to consider the questions that she was asking him disrespectful, I think that sometimes the tough shit just needs to be asked. And
talk about it.
If we're not gonna ask it, because here's the thing, this is what I want our elected officials to do, is to put that pressure on our paid employees for the simple fact of we don't have the same access to these people like they do. So if you're gonna say you're for the community, then you can't just let these people do whatever and however they want to do it when we have laws and regulations, statutes, ordinances, resolutions, and y'all don't even follow it. But then what do we expect from the state of America? Because they've always reneged on anything that they have ever done, going back to when the start of America, all the way back to 1776. if we really want to talk about it. So how are we ever going to make America great again when America is nothing but a farce and a lie?
Talk about it, yo. On point. You on
You know
point,
what I'm saying?
bringing the facts, yo. You right.
I go back to it. You know what I'm saying? Of how do we really can say that we love thy neighbor when we care more about a country that's overseas, but we don't even care about a territory that we consider part of America?
Yo, right.
You know,
Right.
is it because now if that was a white nation, would it be different?
Yep.
If that was Puerto Rico was full of white people, would the response be different? With the because they have
yeah, I mean, we have something in a sense. We have Guam. Guam is run by America, and
okay,
it's also a resort.
right,
So, think about it. Like, I'm sure people that live in Guam have more, have a better life than people that are native to Hawaii, and that's just an assumption. But
well, I know,
colonization, it's present day colonization. It's just framed differently.
right. Oh, different. Oh, and that's one thing that too is that I want to understand about other nations, other countries, and
Yeah.
that's why I'm really looking forward to getting David Allen Moon on here to learn more about Canada.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so that because I think a lot of it is myself, and I'll speak on it because I don't understand it. So the politics are different, and
Oh yeah.
that's what I'm starting to learn. And I want to be the type of person that is respectful to everybody's concerns and issues, and regardless of how they might see something, um, the language could be different, the definition of something may be different, and that's what I really want to talk about and get an understanding of the politics, the social justice issues that are facing in Canada, how that fight is going, how we can help here in America. Um, because everybody all over the world needs to stand in solidarity together. But we also have to have an understanding and knowledge to be able to fight these fights and to be able to help in the most constructive and strategic and tactical way. So when we know better, we do better.
That's why we educate, meditate, liberate, and celebrate. Educate is that first one.
Yes, we have to educate. We have to educate. Education is a must. Now I went off on a little rant. The next story that we will talk about today is fentanyl. So I really shouldn't even be having to talk about this, but this is something that is dear to me. Uh, is the youth is very important, and also the fight against drugs. Halloween season is coming up. I want people to know that fentanyl is now they're in candy. They've had multiple cases across this nation of America. And the last thing you want your child to do is to get tricked and die. Uh, so I remember coming up, and maybe you too, as John Tell, of our parents telling us, "Wait till we get home to eat our candy," because people either stuck needles in them or maybe stuck razor blades.
Facts.
Trick or treating is not the same anymore. Honestly, I look at some of these stories that have came out recently about fentanyl. I would prefer my kids to go buy weed legally because they're putting fentanyl in the weed. The medications, I would like Adderall. What's the other one that for ADHD?
Adderall.
Ritalin.
Oh, you said Adderall. Oh, yeah.
Ritalin. And I want people to know that when our kids are misabusing these prescribed medications and they can't get them, the way that they're supposed to, what you're seeing on the screen is going to kill them.
Right.
Don't allow your child. We need to talk to them. We need to understand of what they're going through, because at the end of the day, I know some people don't like drugs. Weed isn't a drug.
Talk about it.
Weed is grown naturally. And that is something that we should really, really, really embrace. I know people.
Yo, we lost you there, my brother.
Am I lost?
Well, looks like Chaz has lost connection for a moment, so we will go to you there, Chaz.
Am I here?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, my bad.
I was gonna say we was gonna go to commercial break for a second, but glad to hear you again.
But it's the one thing that about the fentanyl that frustrates me the most is that it's not just fentanyl, because there's something called carfentanil that is even more synthetic. And if people don't know what synthetic means, synthetic is not so much organic, but it's stronger. So they're cutting it with carfentanil. Now,
Ew.
all you need is the compound ingredients to make these pills, and then you get the fentanyl. Get you a little machine. You go to Amazon, buy you a $4,000, $6,000 machine that you can put in your garage. You can put in a storage shed. You put in your little brand down RV or trailer, and you can make you some pills. Go sell them on the streets, $8, $10, and that machine will make 10, 20, 30,000 pills an hour. So while we're screaming the war on drugs, we have to figure out what type of war we're fighting. Where do those drugs come from? Because these dealers out here don't have planes and boats. We don't have access to the borders like that. Our government does, though. So when you see the DEA, ATF, FBI promoting these big old busts on TV, what they ain't telling you is what they're allowing in. I was actually just watching the Oreo Express yesterday, who is down at the border right now. If people don't know who Oreo Express is, they're I guess since my day in joining the movement, I guess I would call them right-wing media. Not even because they're biased. They are biased media. People will call me biased media. I'm not biased. I call them both sides out, Republican, Democrat. For me, this is about right versus wrong, good versus evil. But back to Oreo Express is down in Texas at the border, and seeing people just walk on over through Mexico, and it makes me wonder what gets in, what doesn't get in. And I believe everybody should have the freedom of liberty, the liberty of housing, the liberty of food, the liberty to health insurance, the liberty to the freedom of education, but also to do it the right way, because I shouldn't be seeing people that are here illegally being treated better than people that were born here that are Americans, but yet are being left behind because of politics.
See, I disagree, but I also feel you. I do.
Right. And
my thoughts are a little different simply because I know the devastation we've caused across the world being an empire, but also if they want to be hard against all these black and brown people, they send them back across the border. They could be the same way against all these white Europeans they have and let come over here and do all kinds of crazy shit with their money and buying up property and this, that, and the third. Why don't they get mad at all the Asians coming over here buying property and don't even reside here? Why don't they get mad? Why ain't we mad at those? Look, I'm getting angry.
I see, no, but
I'm saying, I get what you're saying though, and I
don't
agree.
disagree.
I agree. Right. I agree and disagree, but I feel where you're coming from fully. Definitely.
Because I'll tell you right now, where even to go further with that conversation is because right now I see China buying all these processing plants. I see China buying all this property.
Yep.
But that you don't see that on national media. You see that in the small newspapers.
Exactly.
Because of I don't know why national media doesn't do it. Probably politics. You know, you can't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yep.
But and the farmers are pissed about it. And it makes me wonder, why do we allow other countries to come in here and buy up so much property, and for what? Because I didn't even know that some of the biggest food processing plants are actually owned by other countries.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow.
Depends on the country system, but yeah.
But then, you know what's crazy? You look at their products and what they put in preservatives in America, but then the preservatives they put in other countries. They're different because there's some stuff that is added to our foods that are illegal.
Correct.
In other countries.
Red 40 is one.
Right. And which is a big trigger for ADHD.
Talk about it, brother.
They don't want to talk about that though. They don't want you to know that. And there is so many additives and preservatives that are in food that are bad for us that we either choose to ignore or just don't really even care. And I know I make jokes to even use sometimes about
a lot of people don't know also.
Right. And see, and that's the one thing too of that uncomfortability, you know, because even with me, when I make like little humor, I'm not going to call it jokes because what we do, that's not joking. It's humor.
Facts.
But about the vegan, to me, it's because a lot of uncomfortability because I don't know about it. So I make humor about it to make, to make, not make fun
That's
of
your way
it.
of getting comfortable with it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So it's even with like how we were talking about glizzies yesterday.
Right.
Which is the new name for hot dogs.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? But when I was growing up, a glizzy was a gun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you see all these memes with women and the hot dogs will be going all over their face or
I'm done. Yo, 2022 is wild, man.
Right. It is wild. But I also want to talk about too, and I'm going to leave off on this morning. Let's talk to our kids. You know, TikTok is a wonderful thing. YouTube is a wonderful thing, but these trends aren't. You know, we've gone through the Tide Pod trend. We've gone through calling mass shooters in, which are swatter calls. Now I see the Dine and Dash.
What the hell is that?
Dine and Dash.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, bro. And they're filming it.
Oh,
so last night, and I think it was in Anoka. It was either in Anoka. It was somewhere in the suburb of the Twin Cities. And a restaurant owner made a post. They had 12 high school kids come in, order a bunch of food, and then eat and leave, but not pay. They caught a couple, and the kid confessed, which I want to say to this is that I got to give it up to that young man or young woman for the simple fact of that they took responsibility and accountability for their actions.
Right.
And that's a part of growing because we have to learn from our mistakes.
Right.
But it's not okay to steal from somebody else. It's not okay to take advantage of somebody else. It's not okay to scam. It's not okay to take advantage. So when we know better, we do better. And that's what we need to be telling our youth. That's what we need to be telling our kids, is that the world that we live in right now is treat others how you want to be seen and treated, because respect goes a long way.
Talk about it.
A long way.
And you know, when it comes to community, it's all about respect, right?
Yes.
And when you're supposed to be taking care and having respect for one another in your community, you go to a place to get served food when you could have made that food at home, first of all.
Right.
But you chose to go somewhere and have someone make it for you, right? And that person busted their behind. You don't know what they went through to get whatever tip they might have been expecting from you, and what that tip could have did. It might have gotten them gas to get home. It might have gotten them bus fare to get home. It might have helped give them to round out the daycare expenses for their children. You don't know what they might have needed and how that might have messed up their day and made them even more upset and contribute to a downward spiral. What are you going through that you have to rub it off on somebody else? So have respect for other people in your community, and as well have respect for your elders, especially.
Yes. Big facts. Big facts, because treat others how you want to be treated. Mm-hmm. And with that, win or fail, freedom or jail, heaven or hell, wish me well. Y'all have a great Friday. Thank God it's Friday.
Facts. Have a good one, y'all. Looking to advertise your business to a diverse and conscious audience? Are you looking to give back to your community or have your voice heard? The Leon Block is looking for you. We want to provide people and small businesses with more traffic while connecting more people from all backgrounds, as well as integrating viewers more into what we do. Community is everything. Will you join us in helping build a better community? Leon Block Independent Media Group is a grassroots independent media platform by the people seeking to fill the gaps news deserts have created. Left and socialist leaning, we are pro-black, and we cover stories of police brutality, human rights, environmental issues, racism, and more in a more in-depth way that the mainstream can't, won't, and doesn't provide. Our mission is to change the way citizens look at media, to embolden everyone to take part in politics and become an integral and active part of their community, to enrich all of our lives. And to combat racism, we focus on police-involved cases and incidents of racism, spirituality, world issues and news, history, music and art, environment, and many more. The Leon Block Independent Media is a network providing press, arts, and other media and resources aimed to better reconnect the most oppressed. We run daily web shows through social media, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, and post information about current events or simple memes to make you think. We try to target different audiences, and we do not censor anyone as we seek to provide truth that mainstream media does not. Check out our websites. You can also reach out to us via email or text. And if you'd like to reach out for more information or more information on our sponsorship opportunities as well, please hit us up through text at 484-909-0873. Hope to hear from you.